Hello, Internet! I'm Elliot the Purple Hair Doofus, and welcome to Buddy Reads, where I read a small selection of a book and review it for you. Today we are continuing our journey through The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. We will be covering chapters 25 through 32. I hope you've read up to that point yourself, because I do not want to ruin anything for you. The section starts off with Kvothe going to the fishery and meeting with Kilvin, and Kilvin says, "Hey, how is that special project that you're supposed to be working on for me going?" And Kvothe says, "I have some ideas." And Kilvin says, "Well, what do you need to help you achieve those ideas?" And Kvothe says, "Well, I would need my own working space." And Kilvin says, "I can do that for you." And he actually takes Kvothe to a separate room that Kvothe can use to build whatever it is that he's thinking about. It's kind of awesome and sweet at the same time. Then we have Kvothe going to pick up more materials so that he can build the Gram, the object that he needs to protect himself against Ambrose's magic. And he goes to meet this man named Sleet. Sleet and him are... when they first meet, they kind of size each other up and they swap stories with each other. And it's not really a penis measuring contest. It's more, "I heard this about you," and then the other person either confirming or denying that. And it's just kind of back and forth with that for a while. But eventually, Kvothe convinces him to sell him the ingredients that he needs for the Gram. He knows that he can't build this Gram all on his own, so he goes to his friend Fela. I'm gonna mess up every name in this book, so yeah, not on purpose, but it's definitely going to happen. But anyways, he goes to Fela because he knows that she's brilliant, and he knows that she will help him to build this easily, and in order to get her help, he has to explain everything that's happened so far, and Fela's just like, "You're an idiot," and I'm just kind of like, yes. Kvothe then decides that he needs to confront Devi, the debt collector, because she is truly the only one who he absolutely for sure knows has his blood. He goes to her and he tries to be amicable about it. He tries to say, "Can I at least just see the blood?" And Devi is like, "I'm not going to show you the blood. I don't keep it here. Do you think I'm some kind of fool?" The argument just starts building. Devi eyes a drawer and Kvothe reaches for it, and Devi uses magic to keep him from reaching the drawer. And then she reaches for him, and he uses magic to keep her from reaching him. And it's kind of like this stare-off contest with them, but it's really tense. And it's probably one of my favorite scenes so far, is just that tenseness between two characters. Because that scene was near pitch perfect. Eventually, Devi does show him the blood and shows him that it's sealed up. She says, "Now get out of my hut. I never want to see you again. Our friendship is over. You still owe me nine talents, or however much money it was. You still owe me that much. I expect it paid in full by the end of the term. I don't want to see you. When you pay it, send someone else to... I never want to see your face again. You just get away from me, Kvothe." And it kind of breaks Kvothe's heart. But he kind of brought it upon himself. Kvothe goes to his friends, Will and Sim, and Will and Sim help him more with collecting information on how to build this Gram and collecting information on what to use in this Gram. While they are researching, Kvothe is just kind of like, my back. My shoulder. Ow, everything hurts. What's going on? And it's the magic. It's not really like a sharp pain, it's more of a dull pain, but it's still a pain, and he wants it finished. While they are looking up ingredients, Will and Sim actually bring up a character named Puppet. And the whole time that they are talking about Puppet, I'm just thinking, do I know this character? Should I know this character? This character sounds somewhat familiar, and they're talking about him as if I should know him. But then Kvothe says, "I don't know who Puppet is." And I'm like, oh, thank God. Will and Sim are like, oh, yeah, there's probably a reason for that. We might show him to you later. but not right now. Eventually, Kvothe and his friends actually finish building the Gram. and building this protection. I believe it was a chest plate or an armor, an armor or something like that, to keep him from getting that dull pain that he was talking about. Kvothe is over the moon about this, and he goes home and he's like, oh, I'm finally going to be able to sleep in my own bed, you know, finally going to have to keep my friends from watching over me. And once he gets to his place, he realizes that his lute is missing. That kind of breaks his heart. And it kind of breaks mine too, because having his lute was the only thing that I really truly loved about Kvothe, was because he treated that lute very, very well, and you could just tell how much it meant to him. And to have it missing, well, you know that's going to be demoralizing for him. The next day, Kvothe is moping because he is missing his lute, and he goes to Master Eladin's class, and Master Eladin is talking about what is stopping all of his students from naming the things that they want to name. And Master Eladin invites Fella up to the stage, and then he invites Kvothe up to the stage, and he starts talking about naming things is a lot like love, and it's just kind of like very sweet. And then all of a sudden Master Eladin forces Kvothe to grab onto Fella's chest and grope her. And it's at this point that I enjoy Master Eladin. He's one of my favorite characters in the book. But that point made me kind of hate him a little. I hope you can understand why. But as he's doing that, you realize that it's all a lesson about yourself getting in the way of your goals and having to listen to your goals and listen to them when they're saying, let go of my body. Kvothe goes back to the inn, he's still moping, and the innkeeper says, hey, how was that dinner you went to last night? Kvothe is like, what dinner? What are you talking about? And the innkeeper says, did you not get the note? Note? What note? Oh my god. And he looks underneath his desk and he's like, someone left this note for you. You were supposed to get it last night. Here you go. And it's a note from Dinah that says, I would love to have dinner with you. Please come to this restaurant and have dinner with me. I'm all alone. Please. And Kvothe is just even more demoralized. He's like, ugh, I had a chance to eat dinner with Dinah and now I don't. So Kvothe is walking around town, and he actually finds Dinah down an alleyway, and she is crying. And he's like, oh no, my dear beloved is crying. I want to say that I hate Dinah, but it's not so much that I hate Dinah. It's more I hate the way that Kvothe acts around Dinah. And it's hard to explain because it's not like a lovesick puppy. It's just, no. But she's crying. He's like, oh, there, it'll be okay. And she says, I have something for you. And he's like, really? And she's like, yeah, can you come with me? And she takes him into this shop and she says, I'm here to pick up my thing. And the guy's like, oh, really? And he goes behind the counter and he pulls out this like amazing loot case. Like, perfect, pristine, brand new loot case. It has an interior that's removable, so if Kvothe ever wants to get a smaller or bigger loot, all he has to do is remove the interior and it'll fit just the same. There's a secret compartment in it. It's just the most fantastic loot case Kvothe has ever seen. And he's like, oh my god, this is amazing. This must have cost you, like, your entire savings. How, what? But and then he feels even worse because he's like, I don't even have a loot to put in this anymore. But he doesn't want to tell Dinah that. Then the guy is like, yeah, it's great, isn't it? Why don't we see how your loot fits in it? And he's like, ah. And then the guy pulls out his loot from behind the counter. And it's just like, oh, God. Dinah had actually broken into his place, stolen his loot, and took it to the shop so that it could be fitted for this brand new case that she was buying him. And like after that, she's like, oh my god, I am so sorry. I had no idea. There was supposed to be a note. You're supposed to meet me at dinner. That was supposed to be the time that you're supposed to give me. I'm so sorry. And Kvothe is like, it's okay. But you know, if anyone else had done this, he would just chew them out senselessly. But he goes home with the new loot case, and of course he is very happy to have his loot. He is very happy to have spent the night with Dinah. He's very happy to have a new case for the loot. It's just, happiness levels are rising. He then goes with Sim to learn alchemy. And Sim is teaching him about this fireproof toxin. Every time Kvothe tries to like make an allusion to what Sim is saying, Sim is like, yeah, not quite. Kvothe is like, then it's like this. And he's like, yeah, not quite. And it just kind of goes back and forth like that. The final chapter has Kvothe and his friends testing out the gram they had made, and so Kvothe makes a wax voodoo doll and has, was it Fella? Yeah, I believe it was Fella. She wraps a hair around it, she starts doing magic on the doll, and all of a sudden Kvothe was like, oh god, the pain! Oh, everything hurts! Oh, the pain is paining me, pain much! And everyone's like, oh my god, and he's like, I'm fine, I don't feel a thing. And everyone's like, Kvothe, you bastard. And they're just kind of like, yeah, it works. And they like even up the magic a little bit, and when they up the magic, Kvothe is a little worried, but he still doesn't really feel that much. It just still feels kind of like a tingle, and he's like, that's pretty much where the section ends for right now. Before I leave you, I want to talk about this amazing podcast that I found. Well, actually, they kind of found me when they started following me on Twitter, but then I started listening to them, so their follow worked. They are called the Duke and the Duchess, and they are pretty much doing the same thing I'm doing right now. They are working their way through Wise Man's Fear. At the time of this recording, I believe they are up to chapter 19. By the time this comes out, I'm pretty sure they'll be up to the beginning of this video at least. If you like what I'm doing, but want something with a little bit more depth, they definitely go into way more depth, and they have a brilliant outlook on this book. You should definitely go check them out. If you like what I'm doing, go ahead and click the subscribe button. If you like this video specifically, go ahead and click the like button. And go ahead and leave a comment letting me know, what are your thoughts on Denna? Because I believe there's got to be some people out there that just love her to bits. Right? I've been Ollie the Purple-Haired Doofus. This has been Buddy Reads, reminding you to watch your pajama radius. And I will see you all in the next section of Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. Toodles!